Boy, there's one thing these three don't need is caffeine. Princess. We rarely see her on the fence. What's up? I know. Look at his little legs. He can't actually like Goose can jump up and lean on you. Oscar jumps up and he's like, oh, I'm too fat.
Goose like stays up on
Oh, I'm too fat. Woo. Speaking of coffee, that's good. That's good. Yeah, no, they had food this morning.
Yeah.
Yes. It's what I haven't even turned my watch on. Look at that. What time is it?
I have no idea.
Short, it's like 10:30. They've had food this morning. But it was left over from last night. So we'll get them some more. What's funny is, so Cabella's always had food like her entire life. She always has food 24/7. Well, so she'll get up and she'll come out here and it's like, for her, it's like time to eat.
Yeah.
So if there's anything in the bowl, she'll walk out and eat all of it.
Yep.
And then the little two, they only need like a cup, maybe a couple, but Cabela ate it all.
They have access to it all the time though.
Yeah, they always have food. No, the coffee's good. I mean, I'm looking forward to the Colombian roast I ordered, but this is good stuff. I've never had it. Long story short, I didn't mean to cut short over there. I just knew that Ray was dealing with one of the chicks. And came back to check on her, and there's another one that we're going to lose. So how many does that make? 5? We've lost 5.
I tried to well, the first 2 we lost, like he saw, that other morning, and then the last 3 I tried to revive last night. I put 2 of them in my heated blanket and fed them raw egg yolk and sugar water and a Q-tip. It didn't work, and then I did it again this morning on another one, and it didn't work.
And we were messaging and emailing somebody at Meyer Hatchery, and they were kind of guiding us what we should do, and they did everything they could to help, but they start troubleshooting and asking you about your brooder and your setup, and we actually have a humidity temperature sensor in the brooder. And we know on the outside of the brooder, it's 75 degrees, right in the middle where they stand.
Last night, we got a notification that the brooder temp was at 90 degrees, and it was just notifying us that it was getting a little hot.
But they're supposed to be around 90 to 95.
Yeah, well, yes, but which, of course, the thermostat doesn't know that, so it was alerting us.
Oh, I'm with you, yeah.
Yeah, that the temperature, it told us that the temperature was 90 degrees, so it was alerting us. And that means it was 90 degrees under the brooder where the chicks are. The other 6 are doing awesome. And I made them scrambled eggs this morning and put it in their feed, so give them a little boost.
I think it was just a weak hatch for a few of them. It is what it is. I mean, I know birds die when they go through shipping, but I mean, I've ordered like 2 dozen before and lost 1.
They also have to be smart enough to eat.
We've raised chicks, okay? We dunked their heads as soon as they got here. We set up the brooder. They got the shavings. The brooder was dry. It wasn't wet. It had been cleaned out. I did everything I've done, short of I used organic food. I've used it before. Some people say you're not supposed to use organic with medicated when they've been vaccinated, but there's about 2 dozen birds running around Grandpa's that came from me. So, and they're 4 or 5 years old. So anyway.
True. Well, the 6 of them in there are doing great. We just lost 5, which is a lot.
It is, considering we lost the first 3 we lost were cream leg bars. Mm-hmm. And
there's a black one.
A black one.
One in there this morning's yellow. Which
could have been the meal maker. Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, Meyer Hatchery actually refunded us our entire purchase instead of,
saying sorry, you should have had a better setup. But
yeah.
We're not doing anything different. So
yeah. I felt a little targeted, but I understand that the people on the other end of Meyer Hatchery are there to troubleshoot and help you. But I was sending them screenshots of the app that we have that talks to the thermostat that says, here's the humidity, here's the temperature, what's your brooder look like. I mean,
she wanted to know what our brooder setup looked like so she could help us and make it better. And we were like,
which was kind, but at that point we were holding our 4th bird on its way out, and it's like, listen, this is...
Well, the brooder setup's like anyone else's.
It's nothing we've never
They've
done
got
before.
their heat plate, they've got their food, their water, they're in straw. They're not just in the thing. There's straw in there.
Well, and it's not just a ceramic plate against a wall. I think that's what they were confused about. So this ceramic plate that we bought, we've used before. And if you have a chicken coop and you want to keep them warm, you screw the plate to the side of the wall and the chickens can stand next to it. This isn't that. This, they actually go under because it's got legs.
And they get underneath it. So it's like they're literally laying underneath like a mama hen.
And right underneath the brooder, in the very middle, we got an alert, which was the default alert. I didn't even know that we had an alert set. It reached like, I think it was 90 or 95 degrees right in the middle of it. So I'm going to order any more chicks because Tractor Supply has their chick days coming up.
Yeah.
And that is a little bit more. People have asked if you're going to order chickens. The reason you order online is because you can literally hand pick what there is. If we go to Tractor Supply, and thankfully we have like 5 Tractor Supplies, so we could call and kind of pick the chickens we want based on what they have. But Tractor Supply has always had great chicks. Some of Dad's, I think there's 4 Rhode Island Reds.
And they don't have to be shipped. We can just go get them and bring
Correct.
them back here immediately.
And they're usually a little older. They've usually gotten through that first week. They're not.
That is true. Yeah, the chicks at Tractor Supply.
Yeah, the chicks at Tractor Supply are like full on running from you.
These ones hatched and then shipped and lived on, well, that's how the shipping works. The chicks hatch and then they live on what's already in their system for the next 2 days while they're shipping. And then when they get here, you have to immediately get that, you go to the post office, which he was at the post office at 7 o'clock in the morning when they arrived, because you sent me a picture before I even got home dropping Carter off from school. So he went right there. We got him set up and yeah.
Which when I met Ray, that was the last time I had ordered chicks. And we had met, but we weren't living together for sure. So like she didn't know that. What I'm trying to say is that
they don't have food for the first 2 days of their lives.
Yeah, she just learned this whole process when you ship them. But that is how every hatchery does it. Okay, I don't even want to say Meyer Hatchery this, Meyer Hatchery that, because I've never had an issue with Meyer Hatchery, ever. The only thing that ever happened, which is one of the most rare things, is they misgendered a chicken once upon a time, a hen. I got a rooster and thought it was a hen, but then I wound up with one of the prettiest black Australorp roosters I've ever had. And of course they refund you your money. And that was, it took me like 4 months to figure out that dude was a rooster before he started crowing. But yeah, I walked out in the backyard and some hens can crow, but I waited. He never laid an egg. It was definitely a roo. But it just is what it is. It happens. I don't want to say one bad thing about Meyer Hatchery because every time I ask them a question, gosh, they got back with me.
So you were texting her all night last night.
Well, that sounds weird, but
but you were.
We were emailing
Well, we were
for reference.
Yeah, I had 2 birds in my heated blanket in my bedroom.
She had 2 birds. Every time I sent an email, I got a response in like 20, 30 minutes. And they're not a small operation. So I'm aware that we got special attention. I didn't mention the YouTube channel other than like the delivery notes. So it's not like it was because it's Chad and Ray. I have gotten so much support from Meyer Hatchery over the years. I don't even know if I told anybody this, but let's see. I'd been on YouTube for a year and actually got hired by Meyer Hatchery to be one of the remote support people that they have. Like you have to have chickens.
You did.
They want to see a picture of your coop. Yeah. No, I got hired and almost took the job, and instead I started posting 3 videos a week, and here we are, posting 7 videos a week. So actually with the 3rd channel, I'm posting 14 videos a week.
That's awesome.
How about that? I appreciate Meyer Hatchery and their support and walking us through this. And then when I mentioned a refund, because it just seemed like it was all going downhill, the next thing I got was a refund. No questions asked. Now, mind you, I'm providing pictures that they ask for. So if you think you're just going to order birds and tell them, hey, my birds died. No, you're sending them pictures. And the reason we did that is I wanted to know which ones we had lost.
I truly nursed those 3. Q-tip dipped in sugar water.
Well, it could have just been a weak
The
hatch.
spoon worked a little bit, getting it into their little beaks, but they're like this big, and oh man.
So we will get more. We'll probably wait on Tractor Supply because I think theirs is like March 1st or something. So the birds will be like a month younger, but that's okay. And we could order from a different hatchery. I'm not saying that I'm doing that because this happened with Meyer Hatchery. I just think we might do that, but we'll see. Might turn around and order from Meyer Hatchery again. I don't know. I'm just saying. Because like a lot of people mentioned, it happens when you order chicks in the mail.
Yeah.
It happens. One lady said
But 5?
her dad, well, get this. One lady said her dad ordered Well, it's part of it is Miss Rae here, my lovely, amazing wife. But I do know, and I've heard this before, one gal said that her dad would order 100 chicks every spring. One spring, like 60 made it. The next spring, 95 made it. You know, it's all relative to that hatch. And Meyer Hatchery, they pop out, there's a cute little baby chick, and they get shipped. I mean, they're healthy. You can't, I mean, you're not going to run tests on birds. I mean, if they're up and walking around and chirping,
Right.
get them to their owners. That's what you got to do.
Yeah, they hatch and then they come right here, and yeah, it's all right though.
But on another note, I think I'm going to hang the new barn light on the front porch. It's much bigger. So.
I can't wait to see it. Bean's got his voice back.
Yeah. Kyle and Shannon, come get your dog. Is it ready? What? I put a rubber leg on the bottom when we lost.
I haven't done chicken chili though in a minute or a couple days.
No, you know what I'm talking about? It's hot under there.
You did it already?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even notice. Thank you.
Well, his name was Mike Anderson, and he just brought us some hay. I don't think I showed him.
I'm leaning on my cap.
You want some help?
Maybe I shouldn't do that.
So anyway, the rest of the chicks are good. And again, I want to reiterate, we don't want to dwell on Meyer Hatchery being the issue. That's not what happens, okay? Everybody you order chicks from, they do the best they can, and you get what you get. So we just want you guys to know.
The 6 that are out there are eating scrambled eggs for an extra boost though. So I made them scrambled eggs this morning while
They're eating fake eggs from the store.
Yeah, well, we don't have eggs yet.
But
they are from the store, but if you know, I read to save the baby chicks, I was giving them the raw egg yolk, and then I read if you think the other chicks need a little bit of a boost, and it definitely won't hurt them, make them some scrambled eggs, and so that's what I did, and I just kind of threw it in their food thing, and they're all over it. They love it.
all over it. I think that's what caught us off guard was there were 6 out of the 11 that were like amazing. I mean, all over the place, chirping loud, hopping around, and then there were 5, well, I would say 4, that I was like, what is wrong with that bird? You know, and just couldn't get it to come on.
I do hope they weren't sick and that the other 6 don't end up getting sick. So
Yeah, I think at some point though, it's kind of a survival of the fittest. When they go down, chickens rarely bounce back.
yeah.
So when they're sick, it's hard to get them up. And you know, it's winter. It is what it is. I mean, all your hatcheries right now are adjusting their minimum ship orders. Because when it's this cold, it takes so many to keep warm inside that thing. That's the way I've always understood it.
And it did. It was cold when they shipped.
It was cold.
Yeah.